As of June 30th, daily curfews will begin at 11 p.m. and run until 5 a.m. the following day. This will take effect until July 31st. The additional hour is among a list of revised pandemic management measures that the Prime Minister has announced at a virtual press conference being hosted from the Office of the Prime Minister. Public transport operators are allowed 1 hour travel time before the beginning of the curfew to make their first pickup, and 1 hour after their last drop-off. No passenger should be in the vehicle during this time. Meanwhile, up to 20 people will be allowed to gather from July 1. All persons in the gathering must practice social distancing and must always wear masks. This will remain in effect until July 14th. The Prime Minister has announced new pandemic pre-testing requirements for visitors to Jamaica from high-risk U.S. states. At a press conference at Jamaica House on Monday, Holness stated that, as of July 10th, people visiting Jamaica from Florida, New York, Arizona, and Texas must upload the results of their pandemic tests to the Visit Jamaica website before their landing may be approved. The test must not be older than 7 days before the date of travel. According to the Prime Minister, Jamaica has to implement these measures as it prepares to welcome more people to the island. He has stated that the country is now expecting 22 flights per day, with 1,680 passengers. Other people returning to the island will be screened at the airport. They will also be expected to complete testing here and to remain at home until the results are made available. The Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, has stated that the new pre-testing requirement will ease the pressure on the local staff. In the meantime, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisesa Mackenzie has conceded that there is a backlog in testing samples. She stated that this is because of challenges in procuring supplies for the Cobas machine that has the capacity to process samples much faster than the other machines in the system. On Monday night, the Prime Minister announced adjustments to Jamaica's pandemic containment measures. Whilst people 65 years and over must remain at home except where they must go out for the necessities of life, entertainment events remain on lockdown. Nurseries and daycare centers must remain closed pending a decision on the protocols to govern their operations. At the same time, Holness has stated that, effective June 30th, there will be changes to the curfew hours and other measures. Prime Minister stated that although the pandemic cases appear to be under control, people should continue to observe the containment measures. Jamaica currently has 698 cases, including 2 recorded in the last 24 hours. There have been 553 recoveries. On Monday, the local government minister Desmond Mackenzie reported that a weekend assessment of beaches indicated a 91% level of non-compliance. He said that continued breaches of the establishment protocol could factor in his announcement this Wednesday at the end of the review period for the relaxation of some activities. Desmond Mackenzie mentioned that changes could be announced in regards to the opening of beaches and rivers on Wednesday. The minister said in a brief address at the office of the PM a short while ago. The changes, he said, are to address what he described as indiscipline among beach and river goers in general, who ignore the pandemic health protocols of physical distancing and mask wearing. Tonight, I want to make a final appeal to those who are disobeying the rules. Please observe the rules, so that on Wednesday, when I address the matter fulsome in the Parliament, I will be in a better mood to advise of the steps that will be taken. The country has recorded 82 cases of the pandemic for the entire month of June, which the government says is below its projections. which signifies the success of the controlled re-entry programs to date. A total of 698 cases of the disease have been recorded here since the outbreak began. The infection number for June represents a rate of 0.7%, well below what was being projected, which was 2.5%. Holness stated that the 2.5% infection rate would have brought the total number of cases to 851. We can declare today that our controlled re-entry program from June 1 to 15th and our controlled entry program from June 15th to June 30th has so far been a success. It means that we have managed to bring in Jamaicans and visitors safely during the month of June. Holness warns, however, that the lower than expected numbers does not mean we're out of the woods or that we should become complacent, and urged the observing of physical distancing and hygiene protocols. The country reopened its borders to international travelers in June 2020. The Prime Minister has announced updated protocols for the controlled re-entry of Jamaicans. As of July 1, the government will continue to require pandemic testing for controlled entry, and all arriving passengers will continue to be subject to health screening and risk assessment on arrival at the ports of entry. Visitors to Jamaica from areas declared high risk must register on the Visit Jamaica website and will be required to upload a valid PCR test. The Prime Minister said approval for travel to Jamaica will be subject to the uploaded test. As of July 10th, visitors from the declared high-risk areas will be required to present their PCR test on arrival. Business travelers who are visiting for less than 14 days will be tested at the airport and follow established protocols for isolation until results are available. Those positive must be quarantined. Jamaica reopened its borders to travelers on June 15th. Approximately 14,600 persons have arrived, 9,300 residents and 5,300 non-residents. An additional 15,000 have been approved to travel, 12,400 residents and 2,600 non-residents. In regards to the new curfew hours the government has imposed, they have stated that it's a measure to curb the spread of the pandemic. Markets will be allowed to open Mondays to Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and will remain closed on Sundays. Zoos will be open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and parks from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. These new opening hours will remain in effect until June 14th. This has been a review of the new measures that have been put in place by the government of Jamaica in regards to travel and opening hours of places in Jamaica. They are also in regards to new curfew hours for transport workers and for persons traveling in the country. Announcements have also been made in regards to pre-testing and other testing measures for persons entering Jamaica. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.